you done anything today to make yourselves feel proud? I'm sure these two young ladies feel proud every day with the charities that they're involved in, helping and supporting people. I'm going to hand you over to Linda. You've heard my weird and wonderful voice way too much, so I'll pass you over. She's involved with CareLink and Saltbox. She's going to tell us a little bit more about what the charity does. Good afternoon, Linda, and welcome.
Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting us along today. So we are from a project called CareLink. CareLink is a part of a bigger charity which is based in Stoke called Saltbox. Some people might have heard of Saltbox but not of CareLink. Saltbox runs a number of charities trying to support people who are struggling for different reasons. So CareLink is about supporting people in Stoke who are 50 and over, who are particularly struggling with loneliness and isolation. And that can happen for a whole load of reasons. People can be lonely for lots of different reasons. And so what the core of what we do is we offer telephone befriending. So we have a team of volunteers who will phone people up each week. They'll have a chat with them, see how they're doing, see what they're up to, talk a bit about what they've been up to. And it's a kind of a contact with the outside world, really, for these people who, for all sorts of reasons, sometimes it's illness, sometimes it's because they're caring, they don't have that sort of social contact that they perhaps once have. So alongside the team of volunteers, we've got about 25 volunteers at the moment. We also have 5 paid staff, and I'm one of those. And we offer a bit more support. So when people just need a bit of a helping hand in a situation that's kind of stopping them from being as well as they would like to be, we can offer that support. Sometimes it's taking them along to an appointment, sometimes it's helping them to find a social group. So we'll help them to find somewhere that they can go on a regular basis, take them along the first couple of times, a bit of confidence, and that can be a kind of a way out of their loneliness.
And I'm sure if I've lived in Stoke-on-Trent all my life, and I'm sure that if we actually delved into it, and you may well have numbers, the amount of people there that do need all the things that you've said and that kind of support, and for whatever reason might be a bit afraid to ask, or they feel embarrassed, or they think, well, no, I'm 62, why should I have to be asking people for help now?
There's a lot of stigma around being lonely, I think, isn't there?
So it's important that people are aware that you were out there, and when you feel down for whatever reason, or you feel a bit lonely, I know you get the odd things, especially at Christmas, I suppose, where they'll say, knock on neighbours next door, make sure they aren't on their own. But that, it's a bit like, a dog's not just for Christmas, for the rest of you. Looking after people's not just at special occasions. In the middle of winter or the middle of summer, everybody's out there doing their thing, playing snowballs. People need the support all the time. So if there was somebody out there that needed some support, how would they get in touch with you, Alan?
Okay, well, it's very easy. People can either refer themselves in, so that just means making a phone call to us, ring up and say, I'd like to find out more about CareLink. We will then have a chat with you about it, what it involves, and then we would arrange to come out and see you and talk a bit more detail about what that would look like.
Okay, I know you've got to be careful with data protection and all that sort of thing nowadays, or everybody. They put this new one in there where you can't say good morning to somebody unless you ask them permission first. Are you okay referring somebody else if you would sort of go, a neighbour or a friend, or
definitely
not a friend perhaps, but somebody that you're aware of in the community that needs some support? Can you refer them?
We don't mind who tells us about them. What we would say is, if you're going to refer somebody in, just check with them first that they're happy, because we would then contact that person, and obviously if they don't know about it, it's not a great start. But so we get referrals from other professionals, from family, from friends, or from self. We kind of don't mind where it comes from. If someone has that need, then we want to know about it.
It's all about helping people at the end of the day, regardless of how the first contact's made. It's all about helping people.
But get there, check that they're all right about it first before you let us know.
No, that makes sense. Right, we're back with Charity Matters, and the smiling and very patient Nikki is going to have a little bit of a chat to us now about how you can get more involved. Linda sort of runs the show, if you like, from the office point of view. So I think it's based in Burslem, is that right? Yeah, which is based in Burslem. So Nikki's going to explain to us a little bit more about what the volunteers do and how she got involved, and I'll just sit back and let her just wax lyrical about the charity.
Hiya. So I got involved a couple of years ago. My sister worked for Saltbox, and I'd recently lost my nana, who I spent a lot of time with, and I was struggling a little bit because I really, really missed her. And anybody who knows me knows that I like a good chat. And I've always been particularly fond of elderly people. So my sister mentioned, CareLink, they do this voluntary service. Would it be something I'd be interested in? And I thought, actually, it'll take my mind off missing my nana, because I was spent every day with her. So that was, like I say, nearly 2 years ago. Absolutely took to it like a duck to water. Loved it from the get-go. What we do as volunteers is we call our clients regularly. So we'll have a list of people, and quite quickly we become really comfortable with them, and we get to know them and build up a little relationship with them. And it's really nice, because we'll just chat about Coronation Street or what they're having for the breakfast, and sometimes it can go a bit deeper, if they're a bit concerned about something, or we might, because we know them quite well within that relationship, if they don't seem quite themselves, or they don't sound how they normally sound, we might be able to question that or flag it up with an officer and say, this lady didn't sound as chirpy as she normally does, or she was a bit forgetful, or something like that. So it's sort of got two strands really, whereas it's sort of looking out for their well-being, and also passing some of the time with them, so they, if they are suffering from isolation and loneliness, it's just a voice at the end of a phone to have some interaction with, really.
And I'll ask the question, because I'm sure, not from my point of view, because I'm sure I know the answer anyway, but people out there might wonder about it. It's a very unintrusive way of supporting people, and from what I've heard about off both of you today. So I think people perhaps are worried about you going and saying, oh yeah, I'm getting told so and so and so and so. It all comes under the data protection thing anyway, and about safeguarding and all that sort of thing. So it'll all be very confidential, I would guess, when you have conversations with these people. Is it just by phone calls then, or do you do home visits as well then, Nikki?
The volunteers just do phone calls. And if it is, we've got two officers that do home visits for the clients, and they do a review every so often, and just say, see if anything else has changed, is there anything else that we can help with. If they do get to a point where, perhaps, as Linda said, it might be the fact that normally the son looks after them, but he's on holiday and they've got this hospital appointment they can't get to, then we can step in and help in that sort of situation, an emergency situation, but that's purely something that the officers would deal with. As a volunteer, it's just giving those phone calls and being that voice at the end of a phone.
Yeah, it's almost like phone a friend, I suppose, after all Who Wants to Be a Millionaire competition. And I think I would imagine, I don't know, luckily I've not been in that situation, but I would imagine it's knowing that there is somebody there, because even if if you're due to ring them every Thursday afternoon at 2:00, for example, if they've got a problem on Tuesday, that doesn't mean they can't ring you on the Tuesday and say, look, I know Nikki normally rings me, or whoever rings me on a Thursday, but I've had an electric bill in this morning, and I don't know I'm getting paid, and I've got no money, my pension doesn't come, or I don't get paid till Friday, whatever. So they can contact you, even though it's not, in inverted commas, a scheduled contact thing, which I think is important as well.
I think for some of our clients, that knowledge that there is somebody they can go if something comes up is a real, they use the word lifeline, just knowing that there is that.
And I think if you're lucky, and like a lot of people are, where lucky is perhaps the wrong word, but where you've got support from family or neighbours or friends, you perhaps tend to forget the people out there that haven't got that connection with people. And I think that part of it's really important as well. So it's the connection thing. I think that's the big thing that's come across from my point of view, is the fact that you've got a safety net, for want of a better way of putting it. So many people panic and worry, and they don't know the best way of going about how they can get support and help. And that's part of the reason I wanted to do this piece and on the charities every week, so that there's different charities out there that can support people in different ways, look after in different angles of what people want and what support they need. And I think it's important that we get that message across, not just about shaking a box in front of somebody's face outside Poundland in the middle of Hanley. It's about getting up off your bum, if you like. I think we're allowed to say bum on the radio. Get up off your bum and go out there and make it happen. So I'm going to pass you back over to Linda, who's the manager at CareLink and the Saltbox connection, and she's going to tell you about one or two events they've got coming up over the next few weeks.
Yes, so alongside our telephone befriending and the support, last year we got a little bit of extra funding, and we were able to take some of our clients out on trips. So we went to places like the football clubs. We went to Stoke City, had a tour there, went to Port Vale, we went to the theatre, we went to some of the potteries places. We took little groups out, sort of 10 to 15 of our clients out, and just had a nice day out. And for a lot of them, we thought it was a nice added extra, but for some of them it was a real reminder of actually what life can be like, what it's like to have a bit of fun, what what it's like to go out with some friends. And in fact, some of the clients did connect with each other and carried on friendships. Now, we've managed to secure a bit more funding this year, and we're looking for places to host these trips. So if anybody's got ideas or would be willing to help us to host a trip, then we'd love to hear ideas of places that we could take groups of people who often aren't very mobile, but just somewhere nice for the day, just to go out and have a nice time. So
and I think that it's interesting saying that about taking them around Stoke and the Vale and the pottery pit. I'm not big in the pottery round here. That's why they call it the potteries, of course. I'm a Vale fan for my sins. I was born and bred in Wales.
We did both for fairness.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, I'm pleased about that. But I think it's almost can you have I've heard a double-edged sword. I don't know if you can have a triple-edged sword, but we'll have a go. So the people you actually take in there and get a great deal out of, because they are meeting new people, they give them confidence and all the things that we talked about. And I think it's important that people out there know that these, sounds horrible out there, I don't want to put a stigma to because they haven't got one. You just need a bit of support. We all need help sometimes. So it's important that people know that they're out there and they're being looked after, and you need all the help you can get. On a little bit of a selfish viewpoint, I suppose, I think it's important in today's world, when we'll think about professional footballers, certainly at the top end, when they're on 100, 200, 250,000 pounds a week, and they drive around in big fancy cars and go back to £2 million houses and wear £1,000 suits, and they're flying all over the world. I think that can do the players good, the same daft as it might sound, because it brings them back a bit down to earth and realises, the world isn't a Rolls Royce and a £2 million house. It is about everyday people, and everyday people in Stoke-on-Trent, and it's not just Stoke-on-Trent, across the world. We Bursell and we Stoke-on-Trent, and we try, and the Six Towns Radio is a community radio station, which is why we try and get the message across that people out there do need support. So if they want to get in touch, whether it's the people who need support then, Linda, or whether it's people who want to get involved and volunteer, and like I say, Nikki does a great job, I'm sure. You can tell just the way she smiles, and she's the only one that's got me quiz right as well. So, but you can tell that she's really passionate about it, and that does come across genuine. I'm not just saying that because we're on air; it does come across. It's that part of it's important, but there's other things you can do there to help and volunteer to do so. Yeah,
absolutely. So we've got just one number. Which is a Stoke number, so I don't know if you want me to give that out.
You can give that out.
So it's a Stoke number, 810-320. So if you are somebody or know somebody who would benefit from this service, ring that number and we can talk to you about that.
Just give us that again then, Lynn, so people got a chance to grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, write this down.
It's 810-320. Now, if you think, well, actually, I'm quite good at speaking on the phone. I quite like having a chat on the phone. And would think about volunteering. If you're someone who likes having a good old chinwag on the phone, then get in touch with us. We can have a chat about it, what that involves. But basically, if you've got a couple of hours or more to spare a week, then come into us, phone a few people and have a chat with them, make them feel better. I know all of our volunteers would say that actually for them, they get as much out of it as the clients themselves do. I think for a lot of them, it's a reminder of actually life's not great for everyone, and just that little thing makes all the difference. Or as I said, if you've got any ideas for trips, somewhere that we could take a group of people, then give us a shout, let us know.
Brilliant. Web address, I'm sure you've got a website.
Yeah, so there's a Saltbox website, so it's www.saltbox.org.uk.
Okay, brilliant.
And then at the end, /CareLink will take you straight to the CareLink page. But the general Saltbox one will tell you about all the different projects that Saltbox is involved with. Yeah.
And Facebook, in the days of social media, I'm sure you've got a Facebook page.
We do. We have a Saltbox page.
Do you have a CareLink one as well, or is it just a Saltbox?
Just Saltbox.
Okay, so again, if you go into Facebook and just type in Saltbox, they'll come along and come
Twitter
across that
as well.
One,
So
whereabouts in Bursell are you? Just remind people about where.
We're just off the main Waterloo Road. We're in Adelaide Street.
Right. Okay. And can people sort of walk in and drop in if they want to?
Not so much. It's best if you ring first.
Best ringing first and
let us know that you're coming. But if you just want to find out a bit more about it and want to come and see us, then by all means give us a ring. We can make sure someone's available, have a chat with you and see how you might be able to get involved with us.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, the ladies have been a pleasure, I have to say. They haven't drank too much, they only had one glass of water, which is good. Nikki says I've had to keep trying to shut her up because she says she can talk all day. That's not really true. She has done brilliantly, I have to say, as Linda has as well, of course. Can't tell you how much I've enjoyed it, and very, very informative as well, I have to say. And I'm sure we've all learnt a lot about what CareLink and Saltbox actually do. Linda's the manager, Nikki's the... I'm going to say this is horrible, I don't like this expression, but I'm going to say, because I can tell you've got a sense of humour. Linda's the duck on the top of the water, and Nikki's the one with the feet going underneath 19 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's fine.
She does all the work.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure Linda organises it wonderfully, I'm sure. So, anything you want to say to us, girls, before we disappear?
Just thank you very much for inviting us, and if you want to know any more, then do get in touch with us.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. Have you enjoyed it? That's the main thing.
Yes.
It's been lovely.
You weren't too nervous then?
Not too bad.
No,
you put us at ease.
Oh, bless. That's the first time in 4 weeks anybody said anything nice about me. I don't know. Excellent. Now, I'm glad you've enjoyed it, and it's important that you've enjoyed it as well.